What's up, humans? Welcome to a new Psicoactivo on a Monday. My previous video, I already had it all recorded and stuff, but remember how I told you that my videos usually come on the very day when it happens? That's what happened just now. And I decided to scrap my previous video, which was a little bit more generic because a lot of people are talking about the same thing, which is Lue Elizondo's book, Imminent. And I want to make a slight variation because we just found out, let me rewind a little bit. Do you guys remember Matthew Pines on that podcast where he talks about a coup de grace? Here it is.
I believe the coup de grace will be coming sometime this year with someone that everyone would recognize if they watch, if they paid attention to the news, you would know this person.
Wild.
So we'll see. But then that puts us in this. So I think all these things are going to come together, right? It's like.
Okay, so this is funny. Meet Mr. Harald Bernard Malmgren, who used to be a top presidential aide for U.S. Presidents John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford. So that was between the 60s and the 70s. And he just came out with a number of tweets that are very revealing. Please be aware of the importance of the positions he had when he was in government. He's 89 years old now. He's barely involved in politics, if at all. But the position he held gives him a lot of credibility. So I'm going to read a number of tweets. There was one from 2 hours ago. It is a Monday, August 19, 4:13 p.m. when I'm recording this. And he wrote, he used the clip from CBS Mornings, the interview from today.
Comments on 60 Minutes by former Pentagon and intelligence official Lue Elizondo put the global spotlight on the government's look into unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. Now Elizondo is sharing more details about his work. He is the author of the new book, Imminent, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs. In it, he writes these crafts are not made by humans, and they present a very serious national security issue. Lue Elizondo joins us first right here on CBS Mornings. Welcome.
Thank you. My honor and privilege.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, even if you don't believe in UFOs or you are someone that definitely believes that there is something out there, you talk about this idea of these crafts being created to, quote, be friends from out of town. What makes you so certain that they're not made by humans? And also, if I could, early in your book, you said when governments lie to their people, all of democracy is at risk. Do you think the government is lying?
Well, we know that the government never lies, right? The Iran-Contra, Pentagon Papers, Afghanistan withdrawal. No, unfortunately, the government is not this huge colossal machine, if you will. It's segregated into these little fiefdoms, if you will. And unfortunately, they don't always coordinate and talk with one another. As far as these vehicles not being made by humans, if you will, that's not me saying that. We have scientists, some of the top scientists that your taxpayer dollars have paid for them to conduct this research. And at the end of the day, when you're studying the material and you're studying the capabilities of these vehicles, and frankly, there's nothing that we have that compares to what these vehicles can do, the capabilities that they're demonstrating in front of us, then one has to ask, well, where are they from? And if it's not our technology and it's not some sort of adversarial technology, it's someone's technology. In
a statement to CBS News, the Pentagon spokesperson said that the department will follow the data wherever it leads. However, to date, we have not found any credible evidence of extraterrestrial activity. Are there other explanations that should be considered? Is there hard evidence that this is a non-human technology?
That's a great point. And so I think we need to look at this from a temporal aspect, a time aspect. I think if you were to look at it now and say, well, there's no evidence these things are, if you will, not human. The reality is we've been dealing with this topic as a government for decades. So it's not like there's some sort of adversarial technology that just popped on the proverbial radar that's ahead of us. This is something we've been dealing with as a nation for 60 years. So let's put that into perspective. This would be like going into King Tut's tomb for the very first time and finding a fully assembled 747 inside the tomb. It doesn't make sense, right? From a time perspective, we're talking the 1950s, the late 1940s, where this technology has been demonstrated over controlled U.S. airspace, over some of our most sensitive military installations. And by the way, there's official U.S. documentation that substantiates this.
You know what, Lou? I really enjoyed your book. I thought it was really eye-opening about the secrets that people keep. You make a point of saying you believe secrets have an expiration date. And it seems you and your family really went through hell as part of your job, both physically and mentally. And at one point, you ended up quitting your job, and your wife said to you, "Who quits a job without a job?" And you said to her what?
Well, I said to her a lot of things, I'm sure. At the end of the day, I made the decision to leave my job and pursue this topic because it was the right thing to do. And I don't think my family would have respected me if I didn't.
You said a man who can't live with himself. That's a line that stood out to me. But why do they want to keep this a secret? And what do you mean that secrets have expiration dates in less than 90 seconds?
Sure, less than 90 seconds. Well, secrets are made to protect two things, sources and methods. They're not designed to stop, if you will, the American people from learning the truth about embarrassing things or trying to hide things. This is a topic where I believe America can handle the truth. And I think America deserves to know the truth about this topic, about your taxpayer money that's been spent over the decades to try to figure out just what the heck is going on. Look, you have former directors of national intelligence, former directors of CIA, and even former presidents all coming out saying, yeah, this is a valid and real topic and a national security issue.
Yeah, and I think there's so much information in that book we so appreciate and wish we had more time, Lue. Lue Elizondo, thank you for coming in. Imminent goes on sale tomorrow wherever you buy your books.
And he decided to talk about the book, Imminent, by Lue Elizondo. Harald Malmgren writes, Imminent, a book to be published tomorrow, August 20th, by Lue Elizondo on what our government knows about UAP or alien visitors to Earth. This book breaches a dam, and I expect will likely be gradually followed by more awakening disclosure ahead. So after that, he responded to one of his followers who commended him back in April 14th. And this is where it gets really interesting because remember the presidents this guy was a top 8 for. This is what he says. 60 plus years ago, I was provided highest level classifications to lead DoD work on nuclear weapons and anti-missile defense. Informally briefed on Otherworld Technologies, quote unquote, by CIA's Richard Bissell, who had been in charge of Skunkworks, Area 51, Los Alamos, etc., but sworn to secrecy. The fact that this guy who held those positions, he spoke to the presidents constantly, is coming out publicly saying this, I mean, it's probably not the coup de grace that Matthew Pines was talking about, but it is getting pretty damn close. And I don't know what you guys think. I mean, let me know, because when I saw this, I was like, whoa, what's going on? Here's another. Harald says, read the book, then watch comments of others. Bissell briefed me on the record after his resignation as CIA Deputy Director Special Ops. I am not seeking public confirmation status, just telling my personal story. Confirmations will be up to others directly involved in coming months. That's the coup de grace. And he's directly talking about it. Wow. So this tracks. This is another tweet from Harald. I am told Kelly Johnson was the genius of Skunkworks and ran it. But reporting to Bissell, I was not there. Cannot confirm their former relationship. He was responding to a question from another one of his followers. So clearly this guy knew some stuff. And now that he's coming out, I suspect that he's not going to be the only one, because one thing is to be the coup de grace, right? This person that Matthew Pines describes as, it will be very evident who it is, because if you see the news, you will know who it is. And he also expanded on it with Andy on that UFO podcast, saying that he listed the people who have come forward and listed their credentials from Elizondo all the way up to Christopher Mellon. There's a lot of people in between. And he said that the next person that is coming out is above all of them. This guy was above all of them, but he's retired now. What I think Matthew Pines refers to is that it's going to be someone who's active. We've already discussed a little bit of who it might be, but I heard Matthew Pines saying that saying the name would probably spoil and maybe even jeopardize this person coming forward. So I'm not going to say the name, but I've said it in previous videos if you guys want to go fish a little bit. So yeah, Harald Malmgren came forward to not only tell people to read Lue Elizondo's book, but to reveal his involvement in the briefing of these non-human technologies, or otherworldly as he calls them. Let me know what you think. I think this is a very important little piece of document that is going to keep helping this process, which I hope becomes a reality. So I've told you guys before a lot. I don't think the government is going to give us full disclosure at any moment. I'm guessing it's going to come from scientists. That's the best guess that I have. I heard Andy McCrillen from that UFO podcast talking about the Webb telescope, and I happen to agree with him. I think that what Professor Simon Holland is talking about in many of his videos about SETI could be also linked to this. Some images that Webb telescope may have already in their possession. That's where I think the biggest revelation is going to come from, or another discovery in science or archaeology. But I don't think we're going to get the full picture from the government. I hope so. I'm going to support it because that's the way we're going to get more eyeballs on it, on the topic, I mean. And I'm going to support it, but I don't have high hopes. Let's hope I'm wrong. So yeah, let me know what you think about Malmgren coming forward. Please, if you like the content you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, comment. Please leave your comments. I love the comments that I read. I try to like every single one of them and respond to a lot of them. So let's keep it moving, folks. And without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.